We will be using NetBeans IDE for building this project. I have already built a sample application. We will take a look over it. So this is our game. We will start playing it. So here we can get to see we can play this game. Now we will move towards our NetBeans IDE for building this game. So I will close this one. Inside NetBeans IDE, we simply have to go to the file, then new project. We will have to select the Java application. Simply click on next. We have to specify our project name as and then simply click on finish to create this project. After that, we can get to see source packages, dependencies and other folders. So we have to move towards the source packages folder, and inside that we have to firstly create our main class. So we will go to this one. Inside this is our package name. We will right click, then new, and here we have to simply create a Java class. We will name it as a main class and then simply click on finish to create this. Now this one is our main class. After that we have to create other two classes as well. So inside one we will be creating a map generator and the next one will be for our gameplay. So for that we will again go to our project section. Then we have to again go to our package name, right click, new Java class, and we will specify the name as map generator. Then simply click on finish to create this one class as well. After that similarly we have to again go to our package name. Similarly we will be creating one more Java class and we will be specifying the name of this class as gameplay. We will simply click on finish to create this class. Now we will move firstly towards our main class, and inside this we will be creating our main method. So for that we will simply have to type public static that is main method, and inside this we will be creating a JFrame. We have to simply import this. After creating this we have to create a variable, so we will create as object and we will be initialized with new JFrame. Now after creating this we will be calling our gameplay class here. We will again create a variable for this one as well. We will be calling it as a new gameplay. Now after that we will be simply setting bounds to our JFrame. So for that we will be simply calling object.setBounds, and inside this we will be setting the bounds as after setting the bounds we have to set the title. We will specify the title as Brick Breaker Game. After that we will be setting it resizable as false. Then we will set its visibility as true. Then we will simply call set default close operation and we will call it jframe dot exit on close. After that we will be simply calling object dot add, and inside this we will be passing our gameplay. Now this is the error, we will be resolving it when we start coding inside our gameplay. Now after this main class we will be going towards a map generator class, inside which we will be creating a map and specifying the brick height as well as width. So for that we have to go to the map generator, and inside this firstly we will be creating our map. So we will be creating a matrix, integer matrix as map. After that we will be creating two integers, one will be for our brick width and another will be for our brick height. After that we will be creating a constructor that is map generator, and inside this we will be specifying our row as well as our column. After that we will be initializing this map with new map generator. We will be initializing it with int as it is a integer matrix. So we will be specifying row as well as column here as a para. After that we will be simply running a for loop. Inside this for loop we will be simply again running a one more for loop. Start it with index 0, and we will simply run this map1 to its length. After that we will be simply calling map1j, and we will set it to 1. Here we have to select the map. Now after that we have to specify the brick width as well as brick height. So we will be calling brick width, and we will be specifying its value as 540 divided by column. Similarly for our brick height is 540 divided by row. Now after that we will be creating a separate method that is for drawing. So we will name this method as draw, and inside this we will be specifying the parameter as graphics. Here we will be specifying the graphics 2D as a parameter. Now inside this method, firstly we will be running a for loop for the length of our map which we have created. We will start with 0. Then we will run one more loop. As it is a matrix, so we have to run 2 loops to access the elements. Now inside this for loop, firstly we will check if map of ij is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then we will simply set color as red, and we will call g.fillRect. Brick width, we will add 80 to it. Then after we will be calling I into brick height, and here we will be adding it as a 50. Then we will be simply passing brick width, and last one as a brick height. After that we will be simply setting a stroke by calling g.setStroke, and inside this we will be simply passing new basic stroke, and we will be passing the parameter as 3 inside it. Now after passing the stroke we will have to set the color, so we will simply call g.setColor, and inside this we will be specifying the color as black. After that we have to simply draw a rectangle, so for that we will be calling g.drawRect, and inside this we will be specifying our height and width, that is x and y integer, as well as width and height of this brick. So we will be simply passing j into brick width, here we will be passing I into brick height plus 50, and here we have to specify the brick width and brick height. So firstly we will be specifying the brick width, then we will be passing our brick height. Now after creating this method, we will have to create one more method. So for that, inside this we will be setting the brick value, so we will be creating that method as public void set brick value, and inside that we will be specifying our value. Then we will be specifying the row as a parameter and column. After that we will be simply setting the brick value, that is brick of row, and call as column equal to value. We will be setting that specific value to that particular brick inside our map. Now we have completed the coding part for our map generator. Now we will simply move towards our gameplay, and inside this we will be implementing this with a key listener and action listener, and we will be extending this gameplay class with our JPanel, and we will simply call implements as key listener. Then we will specify it as an action listener. After this, here we can get to see error. It tells to implement the method, so simply press Alt Insert as a shortcut key. So we will implement that method later. Firstly, we will be creating several variables which we will be requiring. So first variable will be our boolean, which will tell us whether our game is being playing or not. So we will be creating a boolean variable as play, and we will be initializing it as a false. After that, we will be creating a variable for tracking our score, and we will be initializing it as a 0. Then we will be creating a next variable as total bricks, and we will be initializing the total bricks as 21. After that, we will be creating one more variable for our timer as timer. We have to import this. Now after that, we will have to create a integer variable for our delay, and we will initialize it with 8. After that, we will be creating one more variable, that is for player x, and we will initialize it with the value as 310. Then we will be specifying the ball position with respect to x as 120. Then ball position for y, and we will be specifying the ball position y as 350. Then we will be specifying the integer variable for ball x direction as well as ball y direction. So firstly we will be calling ball x direction, and we will be specifying it as a -1. Then we will be creating one more integer variable, that is ball y direction, and we will be initializing it as a -2. After that, we will be calling our map generator class, which we have recently created, map generator, and we will be creating variable name as a map. After that, we have to create a constructor, so we will be creating it. Inside this, firstly we will be initializing our map, that is our map generator class. After that, we will be setting the set focusable, or we will be simply calling add key listener method, and inside this we have to pass our context. Then we simply have to call set focusable, and inside this we have to specify the boolean variable as true. Then we have to call set focusable traversal keys enabled, and we will initialize it as a false. Inside the map generator, here we have to pass the parameters, so we will be passing the parameters as 3 and 7. After calling it as a set focusable for traverse enabled, then we will initialize our timer as timer, and we will be setting it as a new timer, and inside this we will be passing our delay as well as our context. After initializing this timer, we will simply have to start our timer. So we, we can simply start. Here we have to create the variable as we have already created above, so we will simply initialize that variable itself. Then we will call timer dot start to start our timer. After that, now our constructor has been created. After that, we will be creating several methods. So first method will be our paint method, which will be used for creating the that is for creating our matrix. So we will be specifying the parameter inside it as graphics as g. Then we will be creating the next method as our on action perform method. So that method will be called for when the action is being performed. And the next one will be for on key pressed, that is key press method. So this method will be called when the key is being pressed. Next method will be for moving the right. Then the next one will be for to move the left. And these are the methods. Now inside the move right method, firstly we will start with this one. So inside the move right method, we will simply call our play variable, which is used to check whether the game is being playing or not, and we will initialize it with true. Then we will simply change the player x by 20. We will increment player x variable by 20. Similarly, in the move left, we will firstly initialize play as true, and then we will change player y. Here also we will change player x, but instead of doing plus, we will be simply decrementing it as player x minus equal to 20. Now we will go to our paint method, and inside this firstly we will be setting the color. So for that we will be simply calling the graphics g dot set color, and we will be setting the color as black. After setting the color, we will be calling g dot fill rectangle, that is fill rect, and we will be specifying the position as 1. We will be specifying width as 692 and height will be 592. After creating the rectangular, that is rect, we will be simply calling our map and call the draw method inside our map which we have created. Inside this we will be passing our graphics 2D and then simply call g. Now after calling this map, we have to set color. So for that we will be simply calling g dot set color, and we will be simply specifying the yellow color. Then again we will call g dot fill rect, and inside this we will be specify the position as. After that again we will be calling the g dot fill rect method to create one more rectangle, and inside this firstly we will be specifying the x coordinate as 0, then the next one y as well as 0. Then we have to specify the width, which is 692, and the height will be 3. Now after that we will be simply calling g dot fill rect method again, and inside this firstly we will be specifying our x as 691, then y as 0, then width as 3, and height as 592. Now after that we will be simply calling g dot set color, and we will be setting the color as white. Then we have to simply call g dot set font. Inside this we will be specifying the new font. and we will be specifying the font name as sans serif. So inside this we have to specify it as a serif. Then we will be specifying the font style as bold, and at last we have to specify the font size as 25. Then we will simply have to call g dot draw string, and inside this there will be the empty string, and here we have to specify the score. So we will simply call score, and we have to specify the position where we have to display it. So we will specify the width as 590 and height and the delay as 30. After that we will be simply calling g dot set color to set a new color, and inside this we will be specifying the color as yellow. After specifying that, we will be calling g dot fill rect, and firstly we will be specifying it as a player x, that is the position, then delay as 550. After that we will be setting the color for our ball. So for that we will be simply calling g dot set color, and we will be specifying the color for our ball as green. Then we will simply call g dot fill oval, as it is a ball so we will be making it circle. So for that firstly we will be specifying the ball position x, then we will be passing the ball position y, and we will be specifying the height and width as 20. So the dimension for our ball is 20, and firstly we are specifying its position. Now after that we are checking if the ball position y is greater than 570. So in this case we will be simply change our play to false, so that our game has been stopped as it has been collided to any of the direction. Then we will be calling ball x direction as 0, then ball y direction as 0. After that we have to call g dot set color, and we have to specify the color as red. Then we will be simply displaying a message as a game over. So for that we will firstly have to set the font, g dot set font. We will be calling new font, and inside this we will be specifying the font as serif. We will be specifying the font type as bold, and we will be specifying the font size as 30. After that we will be specifying the string which we have to display. So for that we will have to simply call g dot draw string, and inside this we will be firstly specifying the our text as game over. Then we will be specifying the position of the text. Along with the game over we will be also displaying the score as score. Then we have to specify the width. So width will be 190 and delay will be 300. Now after displaying this we will be again displaying a one more text for restarting the game. So for that we will have to again send the font for that particular text, and we will be calling the same font, that is serif, new font, and inside this we will be specifying the font name, and again we will be displaying the font style as bold and specifying the text size as 30. Now after that we will be again call g dot draw string. First we will be specifying the text as press enter to restart. Then we will be specifying the width as 190 and delay will be around 340. After that, now we have completed if the ball position is greater than 570. So we are displaying the game over messages as well as we are displaying the press enter to restart. Now we are checking if the total bricks is equal to 0. So if the total bricks is equal to 0, this means the user has cleared all the bricks. So we will simply stop our play. So for that we will call play and then false. Then we will update ball y direction equal to -2 once again. Ball x direction as -1 once again. Then we will simply call g dot set color and we will specify the color as red. After that we will again set the font, that is g dot set font, and we will specify the font. Here as well we will specify the font as serif. Then font and style as bold, and we will specify the text size as 30. So we will be not requiring this one. So here we have to give one more closing brace. After that we have to simply draw the string, that is game over, and we also have to display the same message. So for that we will be copy this same string, because the message will be the similar and the score will also be similar. At last we have to simply call g.dispose method to dispose it. Now we will be moving towards our on action perform. So inside this we will firstly remove this one, and inside this method on action perform we will be simply starting our timer first. So for that we will call timer dot start, and inside this method we will firstly check if the game is being played or not. So we will be calling if play, if the game is playing, and inside this we will be checking if new rectangle, that is firstly we will be specifying ball position x, then we will be specifying ball position y, then specifying the size of ball, intersects, new rectangle, and inside this we will be firstly adding the player position x, then 550, and in this condition we will be specifying the ball y direction as negative ball y direction. So here we will be simply running a for loop. Inside this we will again run a one more loop. So firstly we will be calling if map, and we will be specifying the index as ij if it is greater than 0. Then we will be creating the different variable. First variable will be brick x, then we will be simply calling j into map dot brick width, and we will be simply adding the 80 to it. Similarly we will be creating one more variable for brick y. We will be multiplying it with I into map dot brick height, and we will be similarly adding 50 to it. Then we will be creating brick width, one more variable. So we will be calling map dot brick width. Similarly we will be creating bricks height, and then we will be calling map dot brick height. After that we will be creating a rectangle with this parameter. So for that we will be creating a rectangle new rectangle, and inside this we will be firstly specifying our brick X. So here variable name is different, that is brick X. After that we will be specifying the brick Y, then our bricks width, and after that we will be specifying it as a bricks height. Now after creating this rectangle we will be creating one more rectangle for our ball as ball rect. We will be creating new rectangle, and inside this firstly we will be specifying the ball position X, then we have to specify ball position Y, then we will specify the size of the ball, which is of 20. After that we will be creating a rectangle, that is brick rect, and we will be initializing it with our rect, which will be similar. Now we will be checking whether it is intersecting. So if ball rect dot intersects with our bricks rect, if the ball rectangle intersects with our brick rect, then we will simply call map dot set bricks value, and inside this we will be specifying the index, that is row will be I and column will be our J. Now after that we will be changing the total bricks. We will be decrementing total bricks as it is being heated, and we will be incrementing the score plus equal to with 5 when heated by each brick. Now inside this we will again run a if condition, and inside this we will be simply calling ball position X plus 19, which is less than equal to brick rect, that is brick rect dot X, or ball position X plus 1 is greater than equal to brick rate X plus brick width. Now inside this condition we will be simply calling ball X direction is equal to negative of ball X direction, and in the else condition we will be simply changing ball Y direction equal to negative of ball Y direction. After that we will be simply calling break A. Now after that we will be simply changing the ball position, that is ball position X plus equal to ball X direction. Similarly we will be changing the ball position Y plus equal to ball Y direction. Then we will be checking if ball position X, if ball position X is less than 0, then we will be simply is less than 0, then we will be calling ball X direction, and we will be initializing it with negative ball X direction. Similarly we will be checking it for ball Y position Y. If ball position Y is less than 0, then we will be calling ball Y direction is equal to negative of ball Y direction. Then we will be again calling the for if condition ball position X, if it is greater than 670, then we will be calling ball X direction, and we will initialize it with a negative ball X direction. Then we will be simply calling our repaint to repaint our. Then we will go to our on key press method, and here we are checking for the different keys which are being pressed. So we are specifying the option for two keys, that is left arrow key and right arrow key. So here we will be simply running if condition to check with different keys. So here we will be simply calling if e dot get key code. If the key code is equal to key event, it is a right key. If it is a right key, then we are checking if player X is greater than equal to 600. Then we will be simply calling player X and we will initialize it with 600. If else condition, in the else condition, we will be simply calling our move right method, which we have already created at the below one. Then we will moving towards our next one, that is we are checking for other key if e dot get key code. So here we will be checking if key code is equal to key event dot vk left. If the left key is being pressed, then we are checking if player X is less than 10. Then we will be initializing player X is equal to 10, and in the else condition we will simply moving it to the left, that is calling move left method. And after that we have to check for enter as well. So we'll be calling if e dot get key code is equal to key event. If the key event is vk enter, so if the enter is being pressed, in that condition we are only checking if it is being played. Then we will be changing ball position X equal to 120. Similarly ball position Y equal to 350. Then we will be calling ball X direction equal to -1. Then ball Y direction as -2. Then score, we will be initializing score as 0. Then player X as 310. Then we will be changing the total bricks to 21 as we are resetting our game once again. And then we will again initialize our map as new map generator, and inside this we will be specifying two parameters as 3 and 7, and we will again call repaint method to repaint our screen. Now we have already completed move right and move left method. Now our coding part has been completed. So after implementing, the key type and key release method has been also created. Now we will go to our main class. So the error has been removed. Now we will run our project and see the output of our game. Here we have to select our main class. So we have not initialized our box width properly, so we will check it. Now inside the code, we will go to our map generator class to check the width and height of our brick. So we have specified the same width and height. So here we will decrement the height. So we will change it to 150 and we will run our project once again. So firstly we will close this one and we will run it once again. Now we can get to see the width and height of the brick is being properly arranged. So to start the game, we simply have to press any of the left or right arrow key. We will run it once again. So here we can get to see our game has been started and our keys is not working. So we will check for our keys, that is arrow keys. Now for handling this error, we have to go to our gameplay, and inside this we can get to see on key typed and on key released. We are simply throwing an exception, so we have to remove this exception. So we will remove this exception and once again run our project. So firstly we will be building it, and then we will run our project. Now we can get to see our game has been played. So we'll play it once again. So this is how we have built our brick breaker game. So if you are having any doubts regarding what I explained in this video, do ask in the comment section. For complete code, refer the GitHub link or article present in the description given below. So do like this video, subscribe to this channel, and thanks for watching.